along with Kevin, and this is the Gimmick Minute Wrestling Podcast. So we are here this week to talk about some pro wrestling and whatever else is on our mind. Kevin, it's been a minute. Before we get into wrestling, what the fuck were the Browns doing in the draft?
I guess I haven't digested it yet.
I mean, we didn't really talk after they took Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round. Like, this is somebody that everybody projected would go in the 1st, and then the Browns took him in the 5th.
Some people had him as like 1st or 2nd pick, and then he went in the 5th. Like,
yeah. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it because it's like really, it's low risk, high reward.
My problem with their drafts is like, did they not draft an offensive like lineman or tackle?
No, they didn't, which also surprised me. They didn't address tackle. They didn't go get a wide receiver. It was really weird.
Well, they got that guy later on, but like he wasn't anything. I don't know. Like, I think you could have drafted Travis Hunter, and then you could have got Junkins with your first pick in the 2nd round. And like, I would have been, if they would have drafted Hunter and Junkins, like I would be completely fine with that.
Yeah. So what my thought, I don't know if we talked about this last week or not, but when they traded back with Jacksonville to get that extra pick. So thank you, Tony Khan and Shad Khan, for providing that. So it's okay for me. It's okay if they didn't get Hunter because, like, it's, Hunter could be amazing, but he could also bust in the NFL, especially if he's trying to play both ways. He could be an injury risk big time.
Yeah.
Dynamic player, don't get me wrong, but there's also a big bust potential there too. But when they traded back to get that extra pick and then they didn't take a quarterback in the 1st or 2nd, my thought process is, okay, they're going all in for Arch Manning next year. The Haslam's love the Mannings.
Yeah.
Arch Manning potentially will be available to be drafted next year. So I've just figured they're building draft capital to get him. But then they kind of blew that plan up when they took Shedeur because I don't know how you. But I mean, I guess they could still be doing that. But
I'm sorry. If you have 1 or 2 next year, like, I'm taking Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that dude's he's ready to go to NFL now. He just can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, yeah. You're right. I mean, he's gonna be a dynamic player for sure. So. But anyway, all right, I digress. This isn't a pro football or Browns podcast. This is a wrestling podcast. So let's talk about some pro wrestling. The world. What's that? Yeah, I know that was on me. Sorry. If you want to find out how to follow us, if you don't already, it's pretty easy. You can find us on any podcast channel that you listen to. Just search Gimmick Minute. You can find us on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com, search Gimmick Minute in the search bar, and we'll pop up. You can find the video version of our podcast. You can also find us on Spotify. There's a video version and an audio version that gets put on Spotify, so you can find us there as well. I always try to update stuff, or I choose to comment on people's tweets on X at Live Your Gimmick. That's the @ symbol followed by LIVYOURGIMMI.
You haven't a lot lately.
I haven't. No, I've been really busy. Being in grad school and having 2 jobs. It takes away from my trolling time. But I did this week.
You did a little bit, but I do want to talk about, speaking of like trolling stuff or whatever. Kind of just, I'm sure this is maybe throwing stuff off for you, but like, so Dave Meltzer finally like came out with his star ratings.
Oh God.
For WrestleMania. So he gave the women's triple threat match 5 stars.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Io Sky now has more 5-star matches than Shawn Michaels. Go ahead.
Right. Yeah, or Kurt Angle, or Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Sorry. He gave the night 1 main event 4 3/4.
Okay.
Which, like, to me though, like, that should, like, with story and stuff, like, that should have been over 5 stars. But anyway.
Yeah, probably. But he doesn't like that kind of story, so.
But he gave the main event the
night 2.
Was it 1 3/4 stars or something like that?
He hated that. I mean, he absolutely hated that. I figured it was. I'm surprised he even gave it a plus star.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. Like,
no, I don't either. And the star ratings, listen, people, it is one man's opinion. That is his opinion. It's not gospel. It's not whatever. It is his opinion. I respect his opinion on, I'm sure if we went through every single match, we could probably disagree or maybe agree on some of what he said. But, but I will say this, um, yeah, that last match was not good. I mean, I don't disagree with him there. Like, it was not a great match.
I'll say this with Dave Meltzer. Like, I don't have a problem with some of his star ratings. Maybe some, but most not. Where I have a problem with him is he acts like he knows like the business. Like, you and I like don't know the business from shit. You know what I mean? Like, we have opinions, but like nobody really knows the business unless you're in the business, right?
I mean, so between us, we have over what 50 some years of being a fan. Like we've watched literally everything.
And you, like I said, you still don't know the business, right?
Yeah. Unless you work in it, it's a whole different ballgame, just like anything else.
But I mean, for the most part, like I mean, the only thing I don't respect with his star ratings is like his like love for Will, like especially Will Ospreay. Like I get Kenny Omega and Okada. Like he loves like a lot of their matches, but so like blurry. To me, but they like storytell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Will Ospreay is spot fest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
So I agree with a lot of the Omega Okada stuff like that and whatnot, but like
even some of those are
high
spotty, but
spotty, but still.
But then that's what he likes. That's his opinion, and that's totally fine. I'm not going to ever begrudge the man his opinion. Where I have an issue with him is where when he tries to make something sound as if it's fact when he has absolutely no idea. Like
right.
when he
thinks he knows.
When he talks about a professional wrestler as if he knows like what is going on in their lives, or if he knows something about them or something about that's going to happen, and he pushes it as a fact, but then when it doesn't happen and he's called on, he's like, well, I don't know, but it's the way he words it, the way he says it, to his followers, everybody believes that it's true. And that's where I have an issue with him. Like, it's one thing to give your opinion, it's another thing to present an opinion as a fact, and that's the issue sometimes, where I think he definitely crosses a line on occasion. But
yes.
All right, well, enough Meltzer talk. So man, I gotta start off like Friday Night SmackDown. I gotta give kudos to the Street Profits, to DIY, and to the Motor City Machine Guns. That is how you say next year we're going to be on the fucking WrestleMania card. Like, that match was incredible. And yes, it was a spot fest because it was a fucking tables, ladders, and chairs match. I mean, you can't really have those without it, but they did them pretty well. The setups weren't all that obvious. Montez fucking Ford, dude, just flying all around the ring, jumping over literally everything. I think he did like 4 different planchas that seemingly came out of nowhere. Like, I don't know, man. I really enjoyed that TLC match. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I enjoy it because not that I don't want to say like it's anywhere near like Dudley's, Hardy's, Edge, and Christian. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not talking this. I'm not talking this. I'm not talking this match in particular. I'm just talking about the rivalry between these 3 teams.
Mm-hmm.
But I love it because it's like you could have this team against that team, all 3 teams against each other, then the other team against this team. You know what I mean? Like, they are, even though it's only 3 teams, I am completely fine with that as far as like making the WWE tag titles, for that matter, because there are 2 sets,
right,
irrelevant. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was. Whew.
Yeah,
it's just so weird seeing Ciampa without his long beard anymore.
I know. So somebody had posted something. It's like, how did Ciampa lose his beard and somehow look older?
Right, I know.
Like I don't what happened. Like he fell or something, and his chin got busted up or something. So he had to get stitches. So he had to have the beard. Like the beard
I
had to go
think,
away for it or something.
yeah, I think that's what happened.
That sucks, man. I mean, he'd been growing that thing since. I mean, really
Yeah,
before the
like
Blackheart days. Before he like,
yeah,
remember when he would come out to no music to just people saying "fuck you, Champa."
yeah. I mean, maybe like he tried to like cut some of it to see, and then it just looked terrible. And he's like, ah, fuck it.
Yeah.
The only
No,
thing I
but
can think
I
of.
saw pictures of him though at the Hall of Fame, and he had like little butterfly stitches in his chin. So something happened, and I had
Uh
heard
huh.
like something happened, like he took a spill or something like that and cut it, and the beard kind of had to go for him to get it cleaned up. But just think about that at one point though. That dude at one point was such a heel. He walked out to a sea of people screaming "fuck you, Champa." Like,
Yeah,
I want that guy back.
I know. I'll tell you what. I'll put from the time he turned on Johnny and like their match that they had, was it the one in New Orleans where Johnny won with the knee brace crossface or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'll put that match up against just about anything. Well, even their other one that they had where Ciampa won, but the one though with the knee brace, that's when Johnny did the DDT through the ropes onto the wood. Like they
Yeah.
exposed the wood
Yeah.
on
Exposed
the
the wood.
ring. Like
Yeah.
some of those matches, man, I will. It was the last man standing where Ciampa won,
Hmm.
which was after. But the one in New Orleans, though, like, oh, man, that I as decent and as pretty good as NXT is right now, man. I miss that time of NXT because that's like when I first started watching, where
Yeah.
like those matches, like that era. Man, I miss some of that.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. It seems like NXT right now, and I was going to talk a little bit about it, but since we kind of brought it up, I feel like NXT is almost at a standstill right now because I feel like they don't really know necessarily what to do with Trick and with Roxanne Perez. Like they've both kind of hit this ceiling that they can't really
Hmm.
go anywhere right now, and
Right.
I don't know if they're just not quite ready for him on the main roster, but it seems like those two are almost holding up anything else that could be coming up underneath them because they're kind of stuck in limbo right now, and they're too big of stars to leave off the card. Like you got to have them in some capacity, and it's cool that they're using Trick to go back and forth with TNA and have this thing with Joe Hendry and stuff like that though too. So at least they're getting some use out of him in that way.
Well, it's funny you bring TNA up. I wanted to bring up something real quick too. Like, did you see Natalia's wrestling in the NWA? So
I saw she did the blood sport, but I did not know she was doing anything in NW. Oh no, she's doing the Crockett Cup. Yeah, I did know that.
the Crockett Cup. So
Yeah.
does WWE have something to do with GCW and NWA?
So, do you remember that lawsuit from MLW a few years back?
Vaguely.
So WWE ended up having to pay out Court Bauer and MLW like a shit ton of money
The- Okay.
because they basically blocked a show that he was trying to run. Like I don't know if it was a WrestleMania weekend or something like that. And so since that lawsuit, WWE and maybe it doesn't have much to do with the lawsuit. Maybe it's just Triple H and wanting to have better relationships where Vince didn't want any relationship. But and it also could be another reason would be because they're not doing live events anymore, really. Like they're not doing just like house shows anymore. Maybe he's trying to help these guys and girls get more work and more exposure because they're not going out and doing this. So if they want to do things extracurricular, he's letting them. I don't know what it is, but he's making a concerted effort to allow talent to do other things. So if they come to him and say, "Hey, um, you know, Hunter, I would really love to go do blood sport with Josh Matthews. Is that okay?" Yeah, sure, go do it. Don't get hurt. Whatever. And I think it's
Right.
the same thing with the Crockett Cup. Like that, Natalia had said. I would listened to an interview with her, and she had said that when she signed her contract with WWE, she wanted the ability to do things outside of WWE. And that was a big part of her re-signing, is them allowing her those abilities. Because you think about it, if a talent were to go to AEW, Tony Khan doesn't give a shit what they do, as long as, if he wants them for TV, they're there. So I think, Triple H is like, okay, well, if I want to keep some of this talent, I got to let them branch out a little bit. And all that's going to do is just help give exposure to WWE too. So I never really understood Vince's perspective on that. Like, he didn't want to share his property, I guess. I don't know, but I like Triple H's perspective on it, because it's very, that you think back to the territory days, that's what made it thrive, is that people could kind of show up really anywhere, right? They kind of could rotate through places. And you think about some of the young and up and coming talent in that Crockett Cup getting a chance to work with Natalya, like, that's going to be fucking huge for them.
Right.
Who's her? Did she find a tag partner yet? Because she said she was still looking for one.
I haven't heard that, so I don't know. But
I know Maxine Dupree's been her tag partner on WWE, so I didn't know if maybe they were gonna have, maybe that's a good way to get Maxine some reps, is to put her through that. But I don't know. She also said,
like you said, like, the more I think about it too, like, with the relationship now with AAA and the relationship with TNA, and it seems to me like this is almost things. It's going to be like a relationship with the NWA. Like, there's just so much talent out there, not just WWE, just overall, to where it's like, okay, you've got some talent, I've got all this talent. Like, we want to. And it's smart, you know what I mean? You want to get as many people working as possible, because you're just doing some expanding the business. So, like, imagine one day, like, the NWA champion showing up on the WWE TV. You know what I mean? Like,
that'd be awesome.
Even though to me, like, the NWA title is not the NWA. The NWA title has not been the NWA title since like 1988.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, it doesn't matter. It's still the 10 pounds of gold. So, you know what I mean? So, and I know they did something back in late '98 with Cornette and stuff and everything, but that
was Vince basically burying that promotion. It wasn't.
That's all that was.
With, that was never going to work at all. It's funny, like, since
this has been the best reestablishment of the NWA since it hasn't been like associated with Crockett's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like with Billy Corgan and everything, like, it's been the best iteration of it since then. So
yeah, I would definitely agree with that. And so I know, like, it's kind of funny, since JBL's taken over for Pritchard on Something to Wrestle. They talked about that a little bit, and he was just like, that was never going to work. He goes, that Vince was never going to put over another promotion on his TV. Like, it's just not. It's not going to happen. I was like, and Conrad too was comparing the Joe Hendry loss to Randy Orton to, like, when Triple H beat Taz, and it just so happened, I think it was like the 23-year reunion of that match was the same as Night 2 WrestleMania. But
well, to me, that's different, because Taz was like a fully contracted WWE wrestler.
He was,
he just went and did Heyman a favor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he didn't get squashed by Triple H. Like, I remember, like, it was a decent
I think
match.
It was a good match.
Yeah. But the WWE champion's gonna win in that situation. The ECW champion's not gonna win on WWE TV. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. Like, people put way too much stock in that. I mean, get the exposure that Joe Hendry got in that moment, man. I still don't think that people even fathom just how fucking crazy that even was. But yeah, so I don't even remember what we were talking about. We started talking about the tag match on SmackDown and somehow got off into this tangent.
Tag title match, NWA, same thing.
Yeah, all the same. Yeah, all the same. But yeah, you're right about the NWA. Like, this is probably the best. But yeah, to that point though, I think it's great that WWE is working with all these other promotions. I think it makes things interesting for the wrestling business. It makes you want to start tuning in and checking out some of this stuff to see who shows up, or stuff like that. It makes things exciting, man. Just like Aleister Black made Mrs. Knight very exciting when he came and kicked him in the face. I just love the presentation of him rising up with the flames, the music and everything was back. The fact that he had his old song back, like that is the Aleister Black presentation that fucking rocked NXT. So I was real happy to see that. And I love that he still sells the eye.
Oh my god.
The fact that he still has that contact in.
Yes, it's been like 6 years now.
He even sold it in AEW, dude. Like
I know. It's a little thing like that you just never like.
You have to appreciate the dedication to the gimmick.
You forget the general public forgets about, but like if you are like detail weirdos like us, like you just see that and remember it. So
the one thing that you'll remember from the pandemic is him getting his eye smashed into the steps.
And you know, here's the other funny difference between Vince and Triple H. If Aleister Black, if Vince brought Black back, he'd be on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah,
and away from Zelina. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, probably. That was cool. Did you see they had like a little moment after she won the U.S. Championship backstage? That was kind of cool. That was cool that Zelina won that too, man. That girl has been through it. Like kind of deemed a valet, but then getting the chance to work her way out of it, and you know having that big match that she had against was it Rhea Ripley when they were in Puerto Rico, and then she really hasn't had much of a shot since then, and you know getting that women's championship or the United States women's championship is big for her. So shout out to Zelina Vega. So that's pretty awesome. It looks like Jade is gonna go after Tiffany, which that does not surprise me, but Nia kind of got in the way. Did you see Nia? So Naomi and Nia, speaking is hard. I can't talk.
That should be the title of the show. Nia Jackson.
Nia Naomi. Apparently, they had like a little like putting the ones up, like acknowledging each other.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, but then they did a back
acknowledging Nia Jax's terrible speech at the roast of WrestleMania.
I did not hear that.
Did you listen to so it wasn't on video. Did you listen to the audio of the whole thing?
Yeah, like people did. No, I didn't listen to the audio of the whole thing. There's a reason they didn't want that broadcasted, and they made everybody put their phones in bags when they got there. But somebody
posted the whole hour and a half on Twitter. Yeah. Like the whole. There's no video.
Yeah, and I've heard. You know, and I remember Conrad saying something about like, you know, yeah, I get that as a roast. I understand how roasts work and it's fine, but why are you like going after people that don't work for the company or people that weren't in the room? Like that was the thing that I think bothered some people is that they were roasting people that couldn't defend themselves, basically.
Right.
Which that's not the point, and I do agree. The point of the roast is to roast the people that are there, not necessarily people that aren't. Although sometimes that happens, but
right.
Anyway, but no, I didn't see that. But yeah, so Nia, Naomi, maybe a little female bloodline, but then they had a backstage segment that went the complete opposite direction of that. So I don't know, but and then
Nia broke her nose.
What's that?
Then Nia broke her nose somehow.
Yeah.
That's a shout out to you, Michael. I know you hate her. So.
Yes. Anyway, he doesn't fucking listen to this podcast. He'll never hear it. But...
I know. Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, I got Solo claiming responsibility for Jacob Fatu's success. That was interesting. I think they're basically just kind of making Jacob Fatu a babyface at this point because the crowd is just so freaking behind him. It's not even close. I mean, that dude is so over. All gas, no brakes. All right, we'll skip ahead. Let's see if there's anything on Monday. So, do you think there's going to be another person added to this alliance with Seth, Paul, and Bron Breakker?
If there is, I don't really have any guesses or any. I guess I don't have any good feelings or like ideas about it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's where everybody thinks where it's gonna go. Who's next? Who's gonna add? Like maybe they don't. You know what I mean? Like so. It was the only thing that was weird about it was like when Sammy and Seth were doing the interview, I was expecting like once Sammy basically told him to go to hell and stuff, like I was expecting Braun to come out and just beat him down. What was weird to me was like his music playing, then he comes out in his ring gear and like I guess he's wrestling him or something now.
Yeah.
That was a little odd to me. Like I was expecting like this like really weird like this really like I don't know like I didn't expect them to have like a match.
Yeah.
Were they scheduled to? Or like I don't. Maybe I missed something.
I don't. They didn't really announce it as a match. It was just kind of like if you don't take this offer, then Braun gets you basically, and then it turned into a match. But Sammy wasn't dressed for a match. He was just wearing jeans and his tennis shoes.
Yeah.
But it ended as a no contest with him getting speared like 5 times. So I mean, I guess in that aspect, it kind of ended the way you thought it would.
When the show ended, the best thing that happened was that there was no Punk or no Roman.
Yeah.
Let it build, let it marinate. You know what I mean? Like too soon. So
can we
I don't know yet.
Can we also talk about that the coat that Seth was wearing cost $13,000, over $13,000?
Oh Jesus! I would have to admit, I really do not like Seth Rollins.
I think that's the point.
No, like out of character, in character, I don't really like him.
Okay. So you have a problem with Colby, I forget his last name, like as a whole.
Yeah, I just don't know anymore. I just think thinks he's hot shit, and he's not. I think he's overrated.
He kind of like gives some like the issues I have with him are almost the same issues I have with Bret Hart. Like he takes himself way too seriously.
Yes.
Like the character is the person and the person is the character type thing.
Like okay, sense. For example, like who do you think's better in the ring, him or Kenny Omega? I'm talking prime. Who?
Dude, I'll be honest with you. Like Kenny Omega is good. I mean, he's maybe more fluid. I'll say Kenny Omega is more fluid. Like he's more of a better technical wrestler than Seth.
I think Seth's better on the mic.
Yeah, Omega's not good on the mic at all.
No, but like Seth's thinking he's better in the ring than Kenny Omega. You know what I mean? Like,
okay. This is where I will give Seth Rollins credit. He says shit like that on purpose, okay? And I will give you a prime example. CM Punk. All the shit that he talked about CM Punk, and then when CM Punk finally comes over to WWE, who is the first person, like, who is his instant rivalry? Seth freaking Rollins.
So do you think it's a work?
Yes, because he did the exact same thing when Ospreay's contract was coming up. Remember, about a year before Ospreay's contract was up, he was in the media talking about Will Ospreay, like, oh, you're having all these 5-star matches, come have them here, prove that you can do it on the big level. He was talking shit about Ospreay, and then once Ospreay signed with AEW, it stopped. He didn't say it anymore. I think he literally does that shit on purpose. And the same thing, like Omega's like when a lot of the times when he was talking about Omega, it was when Omega was close to having his contract be up. Like I think he literally does that shit on purpose because if they come over, he knows that they're coming to him first because he's already got something that you can sink your teeth into from a storyline perspective. Okay. So I think that's more his genius. I mean, they don't call him the architect for nothing. Like I kind of respect his game there for that.
And I will not take away anything at all from last year's WrestleMania weekend. 100%, the number one man that entire weekend was Seth Rollins. It wasn't The Rock. It wasn't Cody. It wasn't Roman. It was Seth Rollins.
On a busted up fucking knee.
Busted knee, the tag match, the fucking match he had with Drew, came out during the main event. You know what I mean? Like, when people said, like, Seth Rollins was the MVP of that weekend, yes, 100%. So I'm not taking that away or anything. I guess, I don't know. And maybe you're right. Maybe he is.
I honestly firmly believe that he does. I think that he thinks that far ahead, that he does that on purpose to try to get some interest build up, because if they do end up signing with WWE, they have that instant rivalry. Oh, we're gonna lose Kevin here. He snuggled up with a blanket. He's got the yawns going. Oh shit, it's getting late.
I'm sorry. I know we're only 31 minutes in. Listen, it's been. I tell you what. Let's just go off script here for a second. This week,
we never do that.
I know. Just between that and I don't know. This was Ava's last week, senior year. Mm-hmm. So having to deal with that. Mm-hmm. And she has senior prom tomorrow night, and then senior night's Monday night for softball. And just between that, and then Liam's trying to finish up, and Morgan's trying to finish up her fucking chaotic year as a preschool director, and anybody knows dealing with fucking kids and, stupid parents nowadays and everything. God knows what she's going through, and guess where that all snowballs? It snowballs back onto me. So I'm the one that hear about it. I'm the one that's fucking deal about it. I'm the one that gets the fucking wrath. I'm the one that's my fault. It's nobody else's fault but mine. Oh, I stubbed my toe. Your fault, Kevin. Oh, I fucking dropped my coffee. It's your fault, Kevin. Oh my God, this parent's being an asshole on me. It's your fault, Kevin. Okay. And then the matter of fact, the other night, Tuesday night, we lost power here at my house for about 3-4 hours. I came back home, and I was trying to put lights in the house, and I grabbed solar lights from outside, and then all of a sudden the power came back. Well, no, Ava came home late, and she said, "Why do you need to study?" I said, "Take a solar light up to your room." And then 5 minutes later, the power came back on. Then 2 minutes later, she came back to me, and she said, "Dad, come up here. Oh my God, what's going on?" There was fucking 6,000 ants in her fucking room. Long story short, there was a fucking nest of ants inside the solar light that I grabbed from the outside. I went up in her room. So, oh my God. Anyway.
Wow. All right. So it's been a week. All right.
I just put the blanket on because I'm a little cold. And yes, I am tired, but that's okay. I'm still here. I'm running on fumes. I'm running on adrenaline. What? I'm running on
what?
Acetaminophen. What?
What?
I had a good boy. What? I had some vodka.
What?
Got my water.
What? Son of a bitch.
Ate some cashews.
What?
Almonds.
What?
Chocolate chips.
Some pistachios.
Oh shit.
Oh man. All right. Well, I don't know, man. You threw me completely off track. I was talking to somebody just yesterday about how every podcast has that one guy that comes in with a plan and kind of does all the research and is well prepared, and then the other guy just completely fucks everything up. All right. Hey, one thing on NXT, have you been paying attention to the dissection of the D'Angelo family?
I just saw the turn, obviously, that happened at I always stand and deliver. I almost said takeover, but
yeah,
I'm just used to saying takeover. But
I mean, they're pretty much takeovers.
No, I haven't really. Although it was kind of weird, like when he did it, like he was almost like remorseful with it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been a unique turn.
Yeah, it has. And it was kind of weird too. So on this I kind of watched both this week and last week's NXT like back to back because I was a little bit behind. I was trying to get caught up. So I'm trying to remember, but I want to say 2 weeks ago, uh, they showed a clip of Luca asking Stax what was going on. And then this week, he goes, "I'm going to drop you a pin, show up to where I'm at, and we'll talk." So then they do that, and you see like Luca meeting him in the desert, and he's asking him a whole bunch of questions, and then Stax goes, "Luca, why'd you think I brought you out here?" And then all of a sudden you see Luca go, "Oh shit," and then the camera just like cuts off. So like kind of implying that maybe he like kidnapped or did something or buried Luca out in the desert or something like that. And then Tony had like they did a thing like a cinematic thing, in a hotel room with him and Rizzo, and they went back and forth for a little bit. So it was kind of interesting the way that they're playing it out. That D'Angelo family thing always has like fun storytelling. So I'm here for it. It could be something like maybe Stacks got pinched by the feds and he's trying not to turn states on Tony D or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like there's something that they're doing because Stacks has turned on him to watch his back before, and it's been a work. So who knows? But and they're still building up that Dark State, and it was a good way to have Dark State get away with the win without actually like beating them. I guess you know what I mean. Like they kind of came out of it unscathed, and even though you know they looked vulnerable at times and stuff like that. So I don't know. I just think it's interesting some of the stuff they're doing.
So we haven't talked about. So is Backlash Saturday?
Not this Saturday. It's next Saturday.
Okay, I was about to say. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking, like, wait a second.
Yeah, it's next Saturday. So,
Okay.
dude, fucking, did you see the John Cena? They had another thing with him and Orton. That promo between John Cena and Randy Orton. Like anybody, I really hope like all the young guys in the back were fucking taking notes because that was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
It was just so good. I mean, and him telling John to have some kids to get perspective and stuff like that, and John being like, "You're kid shaming me," like,
right. Well, one thing we need to talk about before we do eventually wrap up, or whatever, is we need to talk about the McAfee Gunther situation.
Yeah, that was
And
something from Raw. Yeah, 2 weeks
and
ago.
that was that was a hell of a promo by McAfee. That was a hell of a and what was great about it is that it made it come off as real. It made it come off as he wasn't playing the character. He was Pat McAfee.
Right.
And the funny thing about it was that when he was all said and done, and especially after he accepted everything, you almost like feel like not with his words or actions, but like with his eyes, he was like, "What the fuck did I just get into?" You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, I don't.
Yeah.
It's,
100%.
um. So it's cool. We'll see what happens Monday with the go home with them. Um. I mean, in the end of the day, McAfee's gonna go, and he's gonna do what he does and everything. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of, but the thing is, too, is like going through not being there. I guess we're going to see what happens Monday. But like, I wonder what I'm just interested of after this match is over, what comes out of it, especially for
So
Gunther.
there's a lot of speculation that this could finally be the angle that leads to Goldberg and Gunther.
That's right. Okay, I did hear that.
So that because that Saudi show's coming up here pretty soon, and they like having Goldberg on the card, so that could be where they go with it. Or unless they're going to build it all the way to SummerSlam, but they could do both really because he could have him go over, basically have maybe I don't know, maybe he gets the best of Goldberg or something like that, and then they build it back for SummerSlam. I don't know, but yeah, I think that might be where it ends up eventually going. It's hard to say though.
Yeah. I just hope that they don't say like, okay, well, if I beat you, Goldberg, then you have to retire because he's gonna lose because he wants that retirement match. You know what I mean? Like,
right? Yeah, that's the whole point of this whole thing is him having a retirement match. So, yeah, you're right. It'd be weird for them to put that type of stipulation on it. It's just, I don't know. It kind of sucks for Gunther, like, but at the same time, though, you got to make a character like him vulnerable. So he tapped to his own, and okay, that reminds me of my Twitter troll of the week. Dude is talking about how the finish or how they booked that Triple H booked the finish of that match terribly. Like, okay, he did the same thing when he went up against Ilya Dragunov. He got put in that chokehold. It's his finishing move, his chokehold, and he taps right away. That is called wrestling psychology. Because if he's not going to tap to his own move, why would you expect other people to tap to it? He knows how devastating it is. He knows how debilitating it is. He knows how it feels to be in it. That's why he's tapping to it. Like, that is, like, nobody gets it. When I can't recall a single time I've seen somebody get out of that chokehold.
Right.
I mean, most people tap to it right away. Like, there's not a lot of people that really, unless when he actually has it locked in, legs wrapped around, all that. I mean, it's over. So yeah, he's gonna tap to it because he's not gonna fucking damage his own move. Like, that's. I think the problem is not a lot of people are that good at the psychology part of it anymore. That maybe fans just don't recognize it. But like, that's what that is. Like, it's I don't know. It's just funny.
It's over that particular hole because people will bring up like, well, The Rock has stunned Austin and Austin has rock bottomed The Rock and they've kicked out. Well, yeah, because they didn't do it effective enough, and those aren't effective enough moves if it's not your particular move. This move, for most people, any person, a chokehold put on proper, you know what I mean? Like, it's a basic hold where everybody knows it. So it's a little bit different, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it is what it is. It just kind of irked me. I'm just like, that's not like that's probably what Gunther prefers. It's his move. Like, he's gonna tap to it when he wants to tap to it. Like, I don't think it was
somebody made a point. Somebody made a point defending that of him tapping, saying, "Yes, Gunther tapped because that's like, yes, I know it's his move, but it's also his weakness. It's his strength, but it's his weakness. You know what I mean?"
Yeah. So. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes total sense. And that just shows that that's somebody that doesn't necessarily watch the product all the time either. But that's also part of the tribalism thing, because it's like, that's clearly somebody who has an axe to grind. But okay, so I got off on that tangent and I kind of forgot where I was for a second.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't watch like any AEW, so.
Yeah, I started to actually watch a little bit of Dynamite this week, but I have not finished it. So
I didn't do it on purpose. I just didn't get a chance to. So I didn't get a chance to get caught up on or anything. So
yeah, I honestly, this is watching what I watched today. I think, was it today or yesterday? It was last night. Watching what I watched last night, even though it was probably about half the show, was the most AEW I've watched in 3 weeks.
The only little bit I got to see was Mercedes came out and looks like possible challenge for Toni Storm.
Yeah, she wants to collect another belt.
All in maybe or something. I don't know.
Probably that makes sense. I mean, she's got maybe another belt, so
yeah, maybe all titles on the line or something.
But the weird thing is that no. Jamie Hayter already has Toni Storm at All In. So either they're going to add Mercedes to the match, or they're already setting up the next opponent for when that match is completed. I think that's what they said.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. And the whole MJF thing with the Hurt Syndicate was because I saw a couple weeks ago where they were just like, no, you can't be in. But then they did another. So they're apparently voting on whether or not to have MJF in every week. So the first week, all 3 of them were thumbs down. Then MVP was a thumbs up, and the other two were a thumbs down. Now this week, Shelton and MVP were a thumbs up, but Bobby was still a thumbs down. And Bobby's thumb was over, man. Like he had the crowd on the palm of his hand, just going like this. Like the crowd was like, oh, and then he like started to like kind of tilt it that way. The crowd was like, ah, and then he kind of started to go like that, and they go, whoa. Like I give Bobby credit. His thumb was super over, but but yeah, then he eventually gave him a thumbs down, and then MJF in true MJF fashion got pissed and cut a promo on him, and then Bobby like grabbed him by the lapel. He's like, okay, Uncle. But he was like, what else do I need to do? And Bobby's like, you need to hurt people. So that was basically it. That's the most AEW I've watched this week in the last 2 months.
Because that's their bit.
Yeah, they hurt people. They hurt. I mean, that song is fucking catchy though, dude. The Hurt Syndicate song, like we hurt people, like it's catchy. It's got a sick beat to it, and then you just have like we hurt people over and over again. Like I'm ready to go fight somebody when I listen to it. So yeah, man, I got nothing else. I think we talked about everything we're gonna talk about. I'm looking forward to Backlash. I'm looking forward to Orton versus Cena. Checking off another appearance. The backstage with Cena and fucking Truth. Did you see that?
Yes.
I mean,
yeah, it was good.
Truth has to get it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I'm looking for Backlash. I think what Backlash has delivered the last since they started the whole WrestleMania Backlash thing in the last couple of years, like they've been really good. So, the Puerto Rico one was great. So, I'm just interested because, like, let's face it, and we can talk more about it next week or whatever. But 99% sure Cena's gonna win, but like, what comes out of it?
Yeah,
I think that's the whole thing with this ride was seen as like, what's next?
Yeah,
what's next?
And you can pretty much probably guess who his opponents are going to be based off the cities that the PLEs are in. Because that's kind of what they did with Roman there for a minute. Like, oh, we're in Montreal, it's got to be Sami Zayn, right? They're like, oh, we're here, we're here, it's got to be this person. Like, it seemed to be the. Oh, we're in Cardiff, it's got to be McIntyre, right? So it's like it seems like they're putting the big champ against the hometown hero in each market and stuff, and that's smart, but
right.
But yeah, I'm curious to see what comes out of it too, because Cena's going to walk away with the title, but it's going to be a matter of how he does it. So,
right,
it'll be interesting. I really think, honestly, whoever wins Money in the Bank, I'm going to guess that whatever Cena's last night is, when he's going to, steal the title and leave with its lineage, he'll probably win his match, and then it's whoever wins Money in the Bank that'll actually save the day and get the title back.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, that would be... Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
You almost kind of forget the person has Money in the Bank, or maybe they go out with an injury or something like that. So you like almost forget like that's a possibility. Kind of like the Avengers, like Endgame. When it seems like all hope is lost, all of a sudden you hear Falcon go. Was it Falcon? Before he became Captain America, but he's like, yo, Cap, on your left, and then like the circles open up. Like that would be the Money in the Bank cash in, is the circles opening up. You know what I mean? Just when you think all hope is lost, Thanos is gonna win and leave with the championship, then all of a sudden, whoever has Money in the Bank's music hits, you're like, oh my god, I forgot about him. And then he comes in to save the day and take the title back from Cena. But yeah,
some of the best few minutes.
What's that?
Ever.
What'd you say?
Some of the few best minutes of a movie ever.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, I still get goosebumps every time I watch that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. But all right, well, Kevin's internet connection is getting as sleepy as him, so I guess it's time that we wrap this episode up. Thank you guys for listening. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the Gimmick Minute Wrestling Podcast. We have a few different options for names, so we'll see what we end up coming up with by the end of it. But I'll get this downloaded and post it. Hopefully we'll have it up tomorrow, which would be Friday for all you people that listen as soon as it posts. But follow us at Live Your Gimmick on X and listen to wherever you find the podcast. But until then, for Kevin, I'm Jason, reminding all you smarks out there to be a fan and always live your gimmick. Goodbye, everybody. Deuces.
So is Naoma Jackson, like, would that be the Jackson 6?
The Jackson 6? What? The 6 Jackson?
Yeah. Naoma. Is that what you said?
No, I don't know. I thought it was like
Naoma.
Yeah, Naoma. Naya Oma or Naomi. I don't know. Naomi, Naya. I don't know.
Who gives a shit?
Oh, fuck. While we're still recording, speaking of which, did you fucking see that Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff and some other dude are starting like their own like actual like legit wrestling promotion?
Yeah, I saw that. I thought it was funny. Everybody thought the third man was going to be Vince.
Yeah.
They're going to start.
And then you're like, who the fuck is that guy? But it's like an amateur wrestling, but with personality, basically.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
All right, we'll talk about it next week. All right, thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next week. Did you say it's not going to work for me, brother?
Yeah.
All right, well, hopefully this episode works for you, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one. All right.